Sonic is one of the most popular video game franchises in the world, as he has had 114 games, 6 TV shows, and 3 movies. Surprisingly, with all of that, he hasn't really had any theme park representation. The only ride he has had was the Sonic Spinball ride at Alden Towers in the UK, and that isn't even themed to Sonic anymore. So I think that now with the movies and games being really popular, and also just the success of Super Nintendo World in Universal Hollywood in Orlando, I think it would be a good time to make a new theme park land themed to Sonic. This would simply be a land, not a full theme park. They could put this in theme parks like Universal Orlando, Universal Hollywood, or even the dreaded Disney. So let's get into this. Sonic Adventure 4D, which is the name I've thought up for this ride, would be one of the biggest rides in the park. It will be a ride very similar to Spider-Man in Islands of Adventure, or Transformers in Universal Hollywood and Universal Orlando. Both of those are dark rides that combine screens and practical effects. The plot would be very simple. Some of Sonic's most iconic villains would team up to stop Sonic. These villains would include Dr. Eggman, Metal Sonic, Chaos, and Zavok. The effect would include fire and water effects, which would really fit because Chaos is one of the characters that are in this. The car you would ride would be a lot faster than Spider-Man's and Transformers cars, as there would be moments where Sonic would use his speed. The entrance would be themed to an Eggman fortress, and the queue would be very similar to the queue for Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, as it would have a lot of references to the Sonic franchise. And the car would resemble the Speed Star from the Sonic racing games. And this ride would be one of the more popular rides in the land, but there are a lot of others. Shadow the Hedgehog would be the other major ride, and it would be a roller coaster. This ride would be a very similar ride to Tron at Disney World, as this one would also be a launch coaster themed to a motorcycle. It would be outside for most of the ride, but there will also be indoor parts similar to Tron, where it would show screens of Shadow fighting Black Doom and a lot of other enemies that were featured in both Shadow the Hedgehog and Shadow Generations. And this would be a really big roller coaster, and this ride would also be over water, which would be a cool look, and would stand out, and it would be easily noticeable to the rest of the land, and also depends on the park. It would also be easily noticeable there as well. And I also think that the entrance should feature a statue of Shadow on his motorcycle, because I think that would be really cool. Another roller coaster in this park would be Tails Tornado roller coaster. It will be a lot smaller than Shadow, but the roller coaster would be a wing coaster similar to X-Flight at Six Flags Great America, but this ride would be less intense than that one, because this ride will be meant more for families. And there would also be Tails. There would be like a audio thing on the roller coaster, and it would be Tails talking throughout the ride. And the entrance would simply just be a sign saying Tails Tornado, because that would be the name of the roller coaster. I wanted to give a ride for Dr. Eggman because he is one of the more important characters to Sonic, and I decided that I would do a drop tower called Dr. Eggman's Death Drop, and it would be a drop tower themed, and it would also be themed to an Eggman fortress. And the ride would be very similar to Dr. Doom's Fearfall at Universal Islands of Adventure, as that ride, it launches you up, and this would also launch you up, and you would get to see a really good view of the rest of the Sonic Land and also the park. This ride would also be located right next to Sonic Adventure 4D, as that ride was also themed to an Eggman fortress, so it would be like a big Eggman fortress thing. Now, as for the rest of the land, so the entire land would be themed to Green Hill Zone. It would be like a big Green Hill Zone recreation. There would also be like restaurants and stuff like that. And there would also be costume characters of Sonic characters walking around taking pictures and stuff like that. So that was my pitch for a Sonic theme park land. And so if you like this video, subscribe with notifications on, and yeah, goodbye.